Hello and good morning, folks. I hope all you are well. This is Cliff Graves from Trainwell Boxing. So, today we want to discuss with you what it takes to be healthy, wealthy, and does that really make you happy? Is being supremely healthy and fit and healthy, is that even more important than being wealthy? Would you substitute your health because you want to be wealthy? You see, it's $1 million question, isn't it? They're both intrinsically linked together. They are. Being healthy and being wealthy equals happiness. There's the formula. That's it. I've stopped. See you later. End of video. But you know what I mean? Let's deal with them first. So what does it mean to you to be healthy? We're not talking about gradually aging. That's a different matter. We are talking about being healthy for your age. So if you're 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and in some cases even 100. What does it mean to you to be healthy? What does it mean? Well, I'll tell you what it means for me. And then you can either switch off now or keep listening if you agree. I believe being healthy is being free from metabolic disease and illness. Now, what is metabolic disease and illness? It's an umbrella descriptive, isn't it, of many numerous things that we can contract and fall prey to. I am talking about the really, really big ones here. Cancer. I'm talking about diabetes. I'm talking about mental health issues, dementia, Parkinson's, multiple sclerosis. All of these are kind of like underpinned with metabolic health. Sadly, unfortunately, there are the exceptions, but I think they're a rarity. I think what you put in to your mouth has a direct response rather to your health. If you are eating cream donuts, if you're having Chinese takeaways literally every other day, if you are eating burgers and a McDonald's and whatever in your lunchtime, if you are stopping off before you go home to sink in 2 or 3 pints with your mates down a pub before you go home and have your tea, if you're having a liquid lunch after you've had your wolf down your burger and chips and milkshake. Right, I've got I'm gonna have a swift pint. You drink half the pint down. Mate comes, do you want one? Yeah, go on and stick an half in there. If you don't do any exercise, do you honestly think you can continue living like that? From your 20s into your 30s, into your 40s, into your 50s, into your 60s, into your 70s, into your 80s. Do you think that you can do that without paying the penalty, without paying the price? Do you honestly think that you will get away with it scot-free? Then we have to talk about stress and what stress does to the body. Stress will fry your mind. It will elevate your blood pressure. It will release excessive cortisol. And when that happens is the cortisol, the hormone cortisol, is your fight or flight, right? It is your fight or flight hormone. And it's there for good reason. Because 2,000 years ago, if we was being chased by some wild animal, we'd have to switch on instantaneously to run it off, depending on the wild animal, climb a tree, or get indoors and slam the door shut. I don't know. So it gives us that impetus of instant energy to run away, to fight or flight, or to turn around, get your spear and fend it off as it's come into your little Anglo-Saxon encampment, and you're the dad, you're the daddy, you're the father, you're the one that is the warrior, you're the one that's got to go out there and fend it off with your spear. The release of cortisol enables you to do that. So cortisol is our friend, but it becomes our enemy when we produce too much of it. It does all sorts of things to the body. It wreaks havoc on our bodies because it produces insulin. What does insulin do? Insulin is that carrier that goes to all the cells, different cells in the body, and it goes, hello, we need to get in. It opens the door, so to speak, of the cells to get into the cells, to nourish and charge up the mitochondria, for example. So we have the energy to run the bug away from that wild beast or stand and fight. Excessive levels produce excessive levels of insulin and other hormones, adrenaline, noradrenaline. And when that insulin cannot, for whatever reason, because the cells are already crammed up with insulin, it can't barge its way in to that cell, or the cell is gunked up, then the insulin will run around the body like a wild mare, and it will start depositing itself into organs, heart, liver, especially the liver, and all over the body, causing destruction, terrible destruction. This is why alcoholics can succumb bang, through cirrhosis of the liver. Just 1 minute, I say, oh, I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. Listen, mate, I've been drinking all my life. My old man was a drinker. My granddad was a drinker. Don't tell me I can't have my little quota of beer per night. Don't tell me that, mate. I feel fine, mate. Until suddenly, bang, that's it. Your liver packs up. And then I have heard horrendous stories of how people die when their liver packs up. The whole of their body blows up like a fucking Michelin man. It's can happen. It's not good shit. It's not good. So to be metabolically healthy, devout of illness and disease, mentally and physically, is where it's at. It's where it's at. I would say a mass proportion of illnesses and diseases today are via metabolic conditions, acid reflux, problems in the gut. It's all metabolic. And how is that caused? By what we're putting in continually. We've got freedom of choice to gouge in what we want. I could go out now. I could buy myself 6 cold ones. I could stick them in the fridge. Go away, have some lunch, and then about 2-3 o'clock this afternoon, I could think, I'm gonna have those. And I could sit out, I could put my shades on, my sunglasses on, sit out in the garden and neck them and be as happy as a sandboy, happy as a pig in shit, whiling away the afternoon, getting some rays and all the rest of it. But I know for me, once I get the taste, that's it, boy. I am then off on a bender. And then I'm saying, do you know what? Come on, look, I've had half a dozen. Yeah, I'm going to go back down and I'm going to get another 4. See me through the evening. You know, addiction. That's what it is. And a weak willpower. Yeah. I'm talking about me. Yeah. So I know from experience. So I'm not just bleating off a lot of old bullshit. I'm giving you proper, honest to goodness testimonial and truism. I had become a diabetic. My blood pressure was high. I was breathless. I was skinny fat. All of these were identified because of my diabetes type 2, right? They like to keep an eye on you, and they would do your checks, what is known as taking the bloods. And they check everything, your kidneys, your liver, they check your heart, they check your blood pressure. They check it all. And so I can say to you, and I'm not very proud to say it because I come from a boxing background, and you'd think that I'd be a purist. It's taken a lot of guts to admit this. Because, I thought, hear about that Cliff Graves, he just said he was a recovering alcoholic. Yes, because I am. That's what I am. There's no such thing as reformed drinkers. You can either take a drink, like my wife, she'll have a glass of wine. She had a glass of wine at Christmas time. One. I had nothing. One glass of white wine with a milk, and that's it. Left it alone. Now with me, that would cause me to go off and be a bender. There's no such thing as reformed drinkers. No such thing. No such thing. At all. You're either all or you're nothing. I can't. Oh, you can have one, sure. Surely you can have one, but get him a lager. Well, the person that's buying you a lager might have the best will in the world because they can have just one lager. And then they leave it alone. But to somebody that's got addictive personality, that's it. They're off on a bender. They're off on a bender. So, yeah, health starts really from what you put into your mouth and what you prevent from going into your mouth. This might go on a little bit, this video, right? So kind of, I designed these videos for commuters, really. To sort of sit back on a long, monotonous journey and they can listen to me and they can hopefully learn something and be encouraged. But anyway, when it's done, it's done. So, yeah, it is what you're putting in and what you prevent to put in, okay? And quite fucking frankly, you have to be disciplined. You have to be disciplined. And that was it. I was just had a little senior moment there. I was going to mention about this horrendous sugar diet that's doing the rounds. And these people that are advocating it should be thoroughly ashamed of themselves. Because in the wrong hands, well, it doesn't matter, even in a really healthy person, it raises your blood glucose levels. And we need to have our blood glucose levels homeostatic sort of set level. I'm using now, because I'm from the UK levels of between 5.5 to about 6.5. Better to be about 4.5 to 5. Class is diabetic if you go over 6, pre-diabetic if you go over 6.5. So with our diets, whenever we eat anything, the blood glucose levels go up and then they come down. So let's supposing for breakfast you had porridge oats with maple syrup, dried apricots, and a cup of tea, big mug of cup of tea with 2 sugars in. The honey, the maple syrup is high glycemic, so it's going to spike your blood glucose level, bang, right out, and then they come down. And then when you eat your lunch, say you eat, you have a liquid lunch, couple of pints and a pasty in the pub, up goes the blood glucose levels, and then down they come. You're going home, you're walking home, you just got off the train, and you decide, do you know what, it's on the locals on the way home, they're all going, I'm going to drop in there and have a couple. You roll out there about 8:30 actually. Now your blood glucose has spiked right the way up, and they're spiking, because when you get in, you've got a nice roast dinner waiting for you. And you've got blood glucose levels spiking up and up and up and up and up. It's that undulating up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, which will eventually lead to diabetes type 2, or other health associated problems, metabolic illness. What you really want is eat something where the blood glucose levels are low glycemic and they go up a little bit and then they level off. Then if you eat your lunch or something, up a little bit and then they level off. Then they level off a little bit and you eat something a little bit and then they level off. So you've got that sort of like level homeostatic set. Little spike levels here, little spike level, but not right up here and then coming down, not right up here and coming down. Now that sort of homeostatic level, we need to be about between 4.5 and 5.5. Acceptable is creeps up a little bit, you know what I mean, to 6.5. All right, take it easy, because we don't want to get it to 7, 8, 9. Understand? I've had my levels before at 17.5. So if you imagine, here's the 5 level, 17.5. I've got enough room. And here's the 5 level. 17.5 is right up, sky high. We're talking about stroke, heart attack level. Dangerous. So there's a number of ways, look, you can do this. We're trying to keep that blood sugar level homeostatically set at that safe level. This is the healthy person. Where it's set at 4.5 to 5.5. 4.5, normally we haven't eaten anything, eat something. 5.5 drops down. 4.5, 5.5 drops down. Little spikes, because if you do eat something, right, you will spike your blood glucose levels. You have to. Even like me now, I follow predominantly a carnivore diet because I want to stay away from sugar. I want to stay away from carbohydrates. I want to stay away from porridge oats. I want to stay away from maple syrup because it does that. And it does. Ciders, lagers, ales, it does do that. And admittedly it comes down, but then it does that. I want to stay away from that because that is the bit which is dangerous shit. You don't want that. So even with a carnivore of eating a steak, for example, that's just the missus coming in now. Even with eating a steak, it will elevate your blood glucose levels. It will. It has to, because it's food, but not to that extent that porridge oats, dried apricots in there, some sultanas in there, you know what I mean, your maple syrup in there, you know what I'm saying, and all of that will bang up there. Okay, porridge oats is quite low, like glycemic, but honey or maple syrup isn't, and neither apricots. So yeah, it will bang. And then if you're, you know, it just stands to reason that you've got to look at this intelligently. and think, where do I start then? Where do I start? Where do I begin? Where do I start? Where do I kick off with all of this? Via lifestyle changes, my friend. Now, I know, because I come from this excuse, mate. Enjoy your life. Come off it, mate. You could walk under a bus tomorrow. Enjoy your life. Well, who says I don't? Who says I'm not reveling in it, being fit and healthy? But you have to make starts. If you are that person, you said, right, I want some encouragement, I want some support, I want to do this, then you've got to make a decision. You've got to make that decision. Now, you cannot go from the hedonist to suddenly all angelic computer. You can't do that. It's too hard psychologically, but also physiologically. Now, when I had gone keto, carnivore is classified as ketogenic, but it's a more intense version of it. And I had been advised, so I'm advising you, you have to transition across from your old ways to, over a period, depends on you, but I would say at least 8 to 12 weeks, where you're transitioning across from eating carbohydrates, from consuming sugar, to not, because inside your gut you will have your existing microbiome, which would be, if you, like we just said, eating the burgers, eating the, nothing wrong in eating a Chinese takeaway as a treat. That's okay. You can have your little exceptions here and now. I'm talking about regularly and very regularly, like 3 to 4 times a week. I mean, and you're eating all this stuff, all these carbs are loaded up in your gut, right? And then you suddenly knock it on the head. The microbiome that exists within your gut are going to say, no way. No. Because you're now putting in, say, like pure meat, no carbs. It's a different form of microbiome. Don't ask me, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a doctor. I'm not claiming to be a scientist or a doctor. I'm an encourager. The different microbiome goes in. The existing microbiome, the shit microbiome, says, hang on a minute, we ain't having none of that. Get out. And a war starts off, a war kicks off in your gut, and you can get all sorts of nasty symptoms, bloating, diarrhea, constipation. You can get so much acid reflux, the whole lot. So if you're making the decision, first stage of our health, to get healthy, I would say start off with a ketogenic diet and work towards going carnivore. You do not need fiber. If you want to have a bit of fiber, get yourself from Holland and Barrett, buy some potato starch powder. Okay. Plump it into a glass, get some apple cider vinegar if you want, or whatever. shimmy it all up, or down you go. Or go and buy yourself some pineapple if you really, really, really feel that you need it. Maybe in the initial stages you should. But I don't know your body. I don't know who I'm talking to. I don't know who's listening to this. So I don't know you. And I've already said I'm not a doctor, but I'm just saying from my perspective, I transitioned across gently and it's worked and it's working. And what I can tell you is there is no biological, scientific evidence to back up you need carbohydrates. None. There is nothing to say that if you don't consume carbohydrates within 6 months, you will die. Because I have been carnivore now, this is my 8th month. And incidentally, my blood pressure is regulating. It's still up, but it's coming right down. My homeostatic blood glucose levels are beginning to normalize. You cannot undo, this is what you remember, never get disheartened. You cannot undo years of abuse within one quick, easy year. You got to play the piper here. You got to, you know, it don't happen like that. It don't happen like that. But you will gradually see improvements in your health. Eventually, you will become fat adapted, which means in actual fact, you've switched off predominantly the carbohydrate source as the primary source of energy. That has been switched off. You are now reliant on stored fat. Now look at some of these bodybuilders. They can be 10% body fat and you can see them ripped all the way up through their torso. They've still got ample fat there to utilize. We've all heard stories, haven't we, of these people that have been trapped for days on end. And what happens is your body will start to utilize the stored fat on your body. So dependent on what your BMI index is at, if it's at 33, you're going to have a lot of stored body fat to utilize. And when that starts to happen, then you will start to see not only internal biological improvements, your visceral fat will start to dissipate. That only really starts to dissipate really after about 6 months. It really starts to get kicking in because of all the damage that you've done prior. And then your subcutaneous fat. And that is good for your mental health. When you look and you're in your 50s, you can see your 6-pack coming back. But when you were doing your boxing, you go, oh yeah, well, I ain't got a 6-pack. I've got an 8-pack. Look at that. And you turn to the side and all your serratus muscles fire up. Your obliques are in there. You've got the middle line coming down there and all the calves. Yeah, man, this is looking good. This is better. This is more like it. There's the encouragement that you get. So diet is absolutely everything. And you've got to look at a high nutritional based diet. And For me, I'm not saying for you, for me, the carnivore diet is where it's at. Think of eating a steak. I eat quite regularly a 16-ounce steak. That's got quite its rump. Can't afford the ribeye. That would be about double the price. But I suppose if you're somebody like Tyson Fury, you could say to his beautiful, lovely wife, look, will you go out and just get a lot of steak from Bob the Butcher down the road? He said, yeah, no problem. And it comes to 200 quid or something like that. No problem. Don't even feel it. But anyway, I'll digress. Contained in that rump steak that I eat, that 16-ounce rump steak, is packed full of protein. It's packed full of iron. It's packed full of B vitamins. It's packed full of vitamin E. It's packed full of all the minerals, zinc, selenium. It's got it all. Infinitely more than a bowl of rice and peas. Infinitely more. Infinitely more. And that's my advice. What you need to be looking at is ultra nutritious foods so you can start to feed your body again the stuff that has depleted it for weeks, months, even years, in my case. That's the stuff that you need to be getting into your body. If you're an athlete, you're a pro boxer, whatever, you will be getting that in your body, steak and eggs, and you know what I mean? The necessity for carrots, for green beans, for peas, for potatoes, for rice, for pasta is negated. There is no necessity to have that because you say, okay, all right. Well, let's just deduce this then. Let's look at a 16-ounce steak and then let's look at rice and peas. A typical Jamaican food stuff. What do you suppose, taking away the carbohydrate value now, what do you suppose the nutritional value won't be there in that 16-ounce steak? Rice and peas, the iron, the calcium, the phosphorus, the zinc, the selenium. Now look at your 16-ounce steak with some eggs. 3 eggs, 4 eggs. If you're 18.5 stone boxer, super heavyweight box, you might say, hardy and draining. Right, I'm having a 16-ounce ribeye, grass-fed, bought from the butcher, and my eggs are as organic as you can get them. I'm having a dozen of them, and you wolf it down. You tell me which has the highest nutritional value. Do you think the rice and peas? Peas have got protein in. Look at pea protein powder they do now. So peas have got your protein in. You tell me, which one do you think? Be honest. Which one has got the highest nutritional value? Well, it's obvious. It's a steak, isn't it? We've already covered about fibre. I am as regular as I've ever been, and in fact, it's not very nice to talk about. What's the time? It is coming up to lunchtime, but when I sit down to use the lavatory, my stools are perfect. One long stool, job done. 2 or 3 easy wipes, finished. However, when I was eating all this porridge oats and bananas and honey. Have you been called in, Sarah?
No.
All right. Give me a bang on the door if you are, yeah?
Yeah.
All that nonsense was not suited to my microbiome. And it was upsetting me and causing a lot of irritable bowel syndrome, another aspect of being metabolically fit. So there's something in carnivore way of life. Start off, as I said, as ketogenic. And do remember, allow yourself some treats. Come on. Have a blowout in the initial stages. Have a blowout and go down a boozer and sink, a few beers, let it loose, but then, right, I'm getting back on the straight and narrow. Following day, that's it. Now that might be foolhardy advice I've given you for an addict, but I'm just saying, if you feel and you are so stressed out, you are so angry, you're so hallucinating, go and have a few pints. All right, have a blowout, but then get back on the wagon and know that you've had a blowout. And for the remainder of the month, 28, 29 days, you are going to do it. You are going to do it. So that's getting your diet right. Now, the next thing that we need is exercise. We need to exercise as human beings. We must move. So it doesn't matter if you want to do a round of golf. It doesn't matter if you want to play paddle tennis. It doesn't matter if you want to play squash. It doesn't matter if you want to go running. It doesn't matter if you want to swim. It doesn't matter if you want to do rowing. It doesn't matter if you want to do weight training, strength training. It doesn't matter if you want to do boxercise, karate, martial arts. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you want to do Pilates or yoga. Get moving. Get moving. That's my biggest advice to you. Get moving. Look at your health. Look at your diet. And if you do just those two inclusions, you will reap the benefits like you wouldn't have believed. The next thing, which now comes into, for you guys, potentially wealth. Do you like taking supplements? Because I want to introduce you to supplements I take. This is by a company called Cerule. This one is Plasma Flow, and you can see what it says. I can't make claims because I'm not a doctor, and Cerule will not allow us to make medical claims in any way, shape, or form. But there you can see, look, what does it say there on the tub? Protects, migrates, delivers. Very, very, very important product. Plasma Flow by a company called Cerule. I'll put the link below, don't worry. It's how can I describe it as? Like in you get the older cars and you want to clean your petrol a bit, and so you put in this almost like petrol conditioner stuff, and it goes through and it sort of like clears out all the dredge and the drudge and the debris within the car system. That's the same as this. That's in its most simplistic way of describing it, is plasma flow. Okay? That is in its most simplistic. That is what this product does. And I just want you to think that if you're over 50, the connotations of us gents that can have with a healthy circulatory system. Be broad-minded. The next one, which underpins the first one I just showed you, is a product, again by Sorul. So I'm just holding it up to the camera so you can see it. And it's called Psy-Active. Can you see the name on there? Look. Oh, yeah, that's gone all, there we are. I'll get the fingers out, mate. Can you see that? Look. Psy-Active. Again by this lot, Sorul. And this is inflammation support, which, as you can see, it says balance, calm, and support. So when you think about it, metabolic illness and disease really and truly should better be described as systematic inflammation in the body. So where you would take an ibuprofen for an inflamed muscle, for example, this one, inflammation support, you can see it, look, is a very, very serious contender to ibuprofen. I use it all the time when I've finished post a hard workout. I take these at the same time as this, because this is the blood support that helps to deliver this. So Psy-Active, and the most cutting edge product I have ever come across in my whole life ever, which is, I have to be careful what I'm saying, and if you become involved in this, you will too, right? Cannot make medical claims, but I can only say what's on the tub, and it's this one, this fantastic one, Stem Enhance. Stem Enhance, look. That's the name of the product, Stem Enhance Ultra, by this company, look, by this company. Sorul. As you can see what it says, it releases, renews, and repairs. I'd never heard of stem cell. I thought that sounds all a little bit sort of up in the air. But what happens is this product, it will release adult stem cells, specifically from your hip bone area. As we age, we will lose adult stem cells. If we have abused our body, we will lose adult stem cells. And that is the prerequisite of aging fast. Now, this is pretty miraculous, this product, to be honest with you. And I have had some fantastic, I felt fantastic. There is no placebo effect here whatsoever. We are not snake oil salesmen. But this product does what it says on the tub. So you've got your circulation support, speeding up and freeing up and cleaning up your blood. With the Cyactive, right, that basically is getting in there and dousing down everything, deflaming areas that need to be deflamed. And then you got this, the piece of resistance in my estimation. This is the release of adult stem cells, which will go all over your body to the weakest parts, whereby it needs more of. And I'm itching to tell you medical claims, but I can't. So I have my hands tied. I've got boxing gloves on. I've got handcuffs behind my back, metaphorically speaking. I can't do it. So I won't do it. And neither should you do it. So all of these attributes, the exercise, the trying to take it easy and not get so stressed, the much better diet, the taking of these supplements will increase your health and well-being tenfold. It has to. It cannot fail. The next one is wealth. So there might be some of you say, I'm wealthy already, mate. I'm wealthy already. I would say, well, don't you remember what I said at the start of this broadcast? Are you wealthy at the expense of your health? No. Well, in that case, probably I'm not for you. You shouldn't be listening to this broadcast because you know it all, and you know you're sailing high in life. See you later. Ta-da. Bye. If you are so interested in getting to grips with your health and you believe that you can help others, you might need to set up a YouTube channel and just get on like me and just explain what is different about me to you. Tell me that. Can you answer me that? Are you saying I'm better than you? Are you saying that I can broadcast better videos than you? Are you saying that? Are you saying you cannot get onto YouTube, broadcast a video and just be yourself and share with people products like this? Because when you do and you start to get people interested that want to become healthy, want to become wealthier, then Cyril will pay you for every product that you sell. They will pay you a commission, or every product that you recommend or share. And they do this via multi-level marketing. Now, sure, no. I thought that. But these people are different. You will build a group of like-minded people that are interested in health and products like these that we've mentioned. and you just refer the products to them. How do you earn your money? By a percentage of the group volume of sales of these. It's as simple as that. Sure will say, brilliant stuff, well done, well done. For all your hard efforts, we're going to pay you. And you get paid a commission. So can you see how you can amalgamate fitness, health, and wealth into a fantastic business? If I'm talking to the person down the pub that just is not interested, it's no good, is it? You have to fish where the fish are, don't you? And if you're one of those type, damn, nah, get off, get away from me, will you? Go on, take your snake oil shite with you, which it isn't, by the way. But that's what people can be like, can't they? You're fishing in the wrong place. You're fishing where the fish aren't. So if you've got an interest in products like these, in Cerule products, fish where the fish are. Build your group. Build your group. And Train Well Boxing will help you to do that. Because it's multi-level. What you do helps me. So if in 3 months you had a group built to 200 people, I've got a group of 500 people, for argument's sake, just making this simplistic as an example. Because of your effort, I've now got 700 people, and I get paid just a little bunch of what you do, commission. Do you understand the beauty of it? Where multi-level does fall down is you can have companies that go solely into recruiting, and then you have a whole raft of untrained associates that haven't got a Scooby-Doo what to do. Train Well Boxing recognizes that, identifies with that, and we are going to rectify that in our own way. You don't have to pay, unless you buy some of our sports apparel, which is a separate entity to Cerule. You don't pay us any money. Certainly not for any coaching or training or advice or encouragement or anything like that. Because we want you to succeed. We want you to be successful. I don't want you to fail, do I? If in my group I've got 500 and you're failing and you just get 3 people, I will get a little bit of a bunch out of that, but it won't be much. It might buy me a pasty. Well, I said we don't eat carbohydrates, didn't I? You know what I mean? If you then go out and get 500 in your group like me, I'm going to be doing cartwheels because that's earning me more money, isn't it? Just the same as the people under you who you tutor in the Train Well Boxing way will benefit the same. So if I've got 3 levels down, I've got somebody, I'll do 500, you're doing 500, and your mate Bob is doing 500. I've now got 1,500, haven't I? In my total group. You've got 1,000, haven't you? Because you've got yourself and Bob. So it all comes down to commission on group volume. And that is how you can start to really earn some big bucks. Some big bucks. Health and wealth equals happiness. So if you can be doing something of value, helping people, you become a value producer, not a neo-cheater. You are honest. You are yourself. I'm no Peter Jones. I'm no Duncan Bannatyne. I'm no Theo Paphitas. Tuka Suleiman. I'm none of them. No way. I'm just me. I'm just myself. And I'm honest. And I'm hardworking. And I will always try my best with every single one of you to help you on the road to success. And if you join us, okay, you will see that. And slowly, the penny will drop and you will begin to understand this is my modus operandi. You might get on and start to do YouTube presentations where you do edit the videos, where you do get the proper lighting, where you do make it so professional that you're getting hundreds of thousands of views, interaction almost immediately. Do you honestly think, that bloke did that to me? I'm really angry now. I've got to get him. I've got to stop him. Or do you think I'll be brilliant? Oh, mate, well done. Why? Because my group volume builds because it's multi-level marketing. And that's the beauty. That's when proper network marketing is fucking powerful. Do you honestly think I'm going to hold you back? Do you honestly think, what is it? It says in the Bible, what father would give their child a scorpion to play with? Of course I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to give you a scorpion and say, here, mate, and try and scupper your business, am I? Am I some sort of prat? Of course I'm not. I am vying for you all the way. This is why I say we're not neo-cheaters. We don't charge you for a penny, apart from if you say, oh, I wouldn't mind one of these baseball caps. I wouldn't mind one of these hoodies. They look all right to me, you know. Yeah. You go and purchase that and you purchase that, right? You know what I mean? That's a different entity. But the Sarul side will not pay us one single penny. Now, you could hold me to this in a civil court of law as misrepresentation. I said I'm not going to charge you any money to do this, to do that, to give you this, to give you that. And then 6 months down the line, I'm trying to do that. Trainmill Boxing will never ask you for money other than on our sports apparel side. Obviously, you have to pay Sarul to buy these, don't you? And then you sell them. It's as simple as that. We can show you how to get your own. You get a little e-com site via Sarul, but I think it needs bolstering up. And we can introduce you to so many good people. Honestly, so many good people that will blow you away to help you, to help get you started. And look, if we can't answer your questions, don't expect me, if you ring me out of the blue, that's all right. Don't expect me to be an encyclopedia and have every single answer. Blah, 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 blah. What I would say, if I can't answer it, I'd be honest and I'll say, I'm not sure of that. I would need to double check. Where are you now? I'm at home. Let me ring through, make a couple of phone calls. Let me see if I can get an answer to you this afternoon. If I can't this afternoon, Can I text you or can I call you tomorrow? Okay, I would do my level best. As soon as I've got the answer to your question, I will communicate with you. And that is my pledge as well. And if I fail to do that, then that is misrepresentation. There's only so many hours in a day, isn't there? 24 hours, 164 in a week and stuff. And I guess, you know, in saying that, if I'm getting how could I cope with 1,000 calls a day asking me the same question? There would come a time when I'd have to think again about how we get over this one. It would never present itself like that, but I'm just saying to you, I'm being fair to you. I'm saying to you, I am here for you. I swear to God, I'm here for you. And I would love to welcome you aboard this company, Cerule, with open arms. I've given you the 3 products I think that you should order. I think if you are really serious about this, you should register as an independent business owner, an IBO, and you do that by following my advice. You just go straight the way through to Cerule headquarters. Cerule headquarters here I'm in the UK, it'd be UK. If it's in the Netherlands, it'd be Netherlands. USA. You know, you go through to your office and you register. You will have to pay, yes. But look, I had literally nothing. I had pennies, brown pennies in my. I didn't have any silver. I had brown pennies, and I was able to register as an independent business owner. Yes, you do have to invest, but it's not thousands. Couple of hundred quid. Certainly, they have had to put their prices up. Inflation and prices go up. Look at the British Rail, how they increase the postage, Royal Mail. Things go up, don't they? Food, it goes up, and likewise, you cannot blame Cerule for doing that. So I think if you said 200 quid is what I got to invest, in the greater scheme of things, to get you registered as an IBO, and you'll get these, right? Those 3, 200 quid. Just think on that terms of how it's gonna, in the long run, reap benefits tenfold to you. And when you come on board with us, okay, we're going to show you ways which you can get these for free. You can get them for free. And we will show you ways, okay, of doing it the Trainwell Boxing way. Now, here's the red tape bit. Because, and I think the other distributors within Cerule are lovely. I think they're my friends. I have no malice towards them. But my group, which we call Trainwell Boxing, the Trainwell Boxing group, and also you must agree to this, we will make sure that we do it covertly our way without revealing our strategy to other Cerule distributors. That will be done very covertly. And if we all hold on to our bottle, as it were, keep ourselves centered that we are going to do this covertly, you can share within a great big Trainwell Boxing group. Even if you're 7 levels down, This is the bit where the MLM does fall down, because people do not train people how to do it. And we're telling you how to do it, so you then go and train your people. And your people then go and train their people. That we are keeping this watertight. Watertight. I will never reveal Train More Boxing strategy here publicly. So forget that. You will never have that seen publicly on blogs or anything like that. So you won't find it out. You will not be able to try and download videos that we shoot, because we're going to do them through a covert video hosting company, which it is secret, and it will only be for our eyes here at Train More Boxing. And you'd be doing yourself an injustice if you told all and sundry about it that were Sarul distributors, wouldn't you? This is our baby. This is our little secret of doing it. And we need to contain it all together. And you will reap the benefits of health, and you will reap the benefits of wealth, increased wealth. And if that don't make you happy, finding it easier to pay your mortgage, your rent, for example, I don't know what will. Okay, so that's enough for today. I can feel, well, I have to shut all the windows here and the door, because my missus is watching the TV. And this is a small little room, and I can feel the heat coming into my face, coming into the choppers. Laugh at me. I don't care. I'm not bothered. But I should go and have a lime water, fizzy lime water that I make up in a minute. But look out for the link below. Okay. Don't procrastinate. Whatever you do, don't. If you've got any questions, just ask me. Okay? All right. Thank you for listening. Have a great day. This is Cliff Graves from Train More Boxing. See you later. Ciao.